Okay, let me ask you a question. Why do we watch movies? To escape the real world and enter a new one, to meet new characters, to laugh, to cry, to be entertained, and also to watch our heroes win and achieve something. A cause, a career, sometimes winning a sport, to escape poverty and achieve wealth. And a lot of times, our heroes go behind a woman, whether she likes it or not. And when you grow up watching them for years, subconsciously, you start thinking that this is how a man should be. This is how I should be like. Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Raunaq Recommends. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about this new Malayalam film that I watched and really loved, Hridayam, directed by Vineeth Sreenivasan, which is a coming-of-age story of a man, mainly his journey through his college years, but actually ends up becoming so much more than that. But first, roll that intro. To be honest, I love movies about college life. 3 Idiots, Dil Chahta Hai, Rang De Basanti, Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na, Ullam Ke Itkume, Chichore, Anandam, and of course one of my favorite films of all time, which is Prema. I love college films because everyone can relate to it. For school kids, there is something to look forward to. For adults, it's something that they can look back on. And Hridayam gets all of this right. Right from the first frame, when we're introduced to Arun Neelakandan, a Malayali among thousands of other Malayalis who board a train to Chennai to join an engineering college. Through the first half, we see his entire college life, joining a hostel, making new friends, getting ragged by seniors, and then becoming a senior who rags his own juniors, joining sports teams and performing in culturals, meeting girls, falling in love, falling out of love. The first half of the film is a film in itself, and it gets the entire engineering college experience bang on. And when most other college films end when college ends, this is where Hridayam breaks into an interval. Most films either make the lead character look flawless or they glorify his mistakes and his bad behavior with slow motion shots to make him look cool, and by the end, they portray him as some kind of an ideal man. But this is where Vineeth Sreenivasan, the filmmaker, someone who's acted in and directed some of modern Malayalam cinema's best films, he creates his character Arun, born in the same patriarchal society like all of us. Arun is a guy who initially seems to be progressive while approaching a girl. He's someone who knows the difference between admiring and stalking. He knows how to charm a girl, how to treat her well in a relationship, but on the verge of the relationship breaking off, he becomes like any other man who threatens and slut shames the girl. We get to see this guy how he can't deal with a breakup, how he goes into like this downward spiral of alcohol and porn and violence and bullying. But instead of glorifying him and making him the ideal man, the film uses Arun's character as a tool to say there's no such thing as an ideal man. But every moment of every day, there's always an opportunity to be a better man. His problems don't magically solve themselves, and he doesn't really get back everything that he lost, but instead, he's actually given a chance to realize his mistakes and work on them little by little for himself. There's the scene in the first half of this film. It's during the end of his college days when he and his friends, all a bunch of bachelors, are staying in this dirty, smelly, filthy flat. And this guy Arun, when he reaches the bottommost point of his college life, when he has that realization that he can't live like this anymore, this is not a way to live, he could have chosen to just run away. He could have chosen to just leave that flat. But instead what he does is he starts cleaning up the entire flat. He cleans up the bottles, the cigarettes, the dirty underwear, even his friends vomit. And when all of his friends come back, he's not afraid to point out to them that what they're doing is wrong. Even when he knows that he might lose these friends, because for men especially, it's really difficult to stand up for yourself in these situations, especially when you're confronting your friends about something so uncomfortable. But anyways, this subconsciously becomes like a metaphor for the rest of his life. He spends every single day trying to clean up the mess created by all of the mistakes that he made in the past. And after that, we get to see him mature and transform from man-child into a man. And we see this transformation really take shape years after his college. When he gets married, how he shares responsibility in that marriage, and when they have a child, how he continues to share those responsibilities in terms of taking care of the child and bringing the child up. And I especially mention this because we live in a country where a lot of us still believe that the women should take care of the house, they should devote their entire life to making babies and taking care of those babies, while at the same time there's absolutely no pressure on men to do all of that. And in a mainstream film like this, when you actually see a man sharing responsibilities, I'm not saying you should give this guy an award, but it's so refreshing to see a filmmaker normalize this. We really can't change all of the mistakes that our parents made in the past. We can't really change our own past, but it's really something to aspire towards. And when younger people watch this, maybe they'll become at least 5% more aware about what equality really means in a relationship. And of course, things are not going to change overnight, and nothing can change with a single film, but any change, any little positive change is better than nothing. And this was my main takeaway from the film. And even apart from that, there's just so much fun, so much goodness, so much love and memories and nostalgia. And after getting out of the theater, there was just one thought that popped into my mind. I wish I get to make a film like this someday. I don't know if that's going to happen, but anyways, for all of this, for giving a film that makes us want to value the people around us a little better, to want to be a better man, be a better human being, and on a personal note, to make people like me want to tell stories like this. For all of this, I just have to say thank you so much, Vineeth Sreenivasan. I don't know how you do this every single time, but thank you. And to the rest of you, if you watch Hridayam, tell me what you liked. Tell me if you agree with what I've shared or if you disagree in the comments. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it on the big screen. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next